Welcome to the moment where shadows reveal the truth, hidden behind every mask, where illusions fall and the core of power is laid bare. This isn't a tale of fairy tales or empty promises. This is the story of reality, unvarnished, unforgiving, and relentless. You stand at the precipice of a revelation so profound that it shatters the illusions others built around themselves. You've done what few dare to do. You unlocked their fatal flaw, the one secret wound they buried beneath layers of bravado and pride. And when that flaw was exposed, when it was stripped bare, you witnessed something far more terrifying than any battle or argument. You saw them naked, vulnerable, powerless. This is the essence of true strength, not in the shine of victory, but in the cold, quiet power of truth laid bare. You walked through their fortress of arrogance, their carefully constructed defenses, their so-called biggest flex, and with unwavering precision, you turned it into their undoing. What they believed was their greatest asset, their untouchable crown, became the very reason for their downfall. You turned their biggest flex into a funeral, a monument to their own hubris and blind pride. The world might call it ruthless, but in truth, it's nothing more than justice served cold. The natural order restoring balance where imbalance reigned. You revealed the cracks in their armor, the shadows lurking beneath their brightest lights, and you didn't flinch. You didn't hesitate. You owned the moment because you understood that true power lies not in hiding from the dark, but in wielding it. There's a certain satisfaction in seeing the mighty stumble, not because you wish harm upon them, but because their fall is a lesson carved into the bedrock of life itself. It's a reminder that no matter how high someone climbs, no matter how loudly they boast, or how fiercely they defend their image, everyone carries within them a vulnerability, a fatal flaw that once revealed strips them of pretense and forces them to confront reality. And you became the key, the force that unveiled the hidden truth. But understand this, it's not about gloating or cruelty. It's about clarity, about the cold illumination that forces growth and transformation. Because only in the wreckage of shattered illusions can genuine strength rise from the ashes. The journey to this moment wasn't easy. It required patience, keen observation, and a resolve that few possess. You had to see beyond the surface, look past the noise and distractions, and perceive the subtle weaknesses others overlooked or ignored. You learned that power is not merely a show of force, but the wisdom to recognize what's fragile beneath the surface. When you unlocked their fatal flaw, you didn't just dismantle their defenses, you dismantled the very foundation on which they built their identity. And in doing so, you forced them to confront their truth, a truth that no mask or facade can hide forever. Remember this, the greatest strength comes from embracing your own vulnerabilities, from acknowledging your flaws and using them as fuel rather than shackles. When you witness someone stripped of their armor, it's not a moment of triumph over another's weakness, but a mirror reflecting the battle within us all. We all carry fatal flaws, hidden wounds and insecurities that shape our paths and define our struggles. The difference lies in what we do when those flaws are revealed. Do we crumble, or do we rise stronger, forged by the fire of self-awareness and resilience? You've proven that exposure of weakness is not the end, but a beginning. By unlocking what others feared to confront, you stepped into a realm few dare to enter, the realm of raw, unfiltered truth. And in that space there is immense power. Power not only to break down others' illusions, but to break free from your own limitations. You turn their biggest flex into a funeral, yes, but in that funeral lies the seed of rebirth. It's a stark reminder that pride unchecked is a prison, and that liberation comes from shedding the masks we cling to. Let this be a call to anyone who feels trapped behind the walls of pretense and facade, to those who struggle under the weight of their own insecurities disguised as strengths. Embrace the light that reveals your flaws, no matter how painful. Because true freedom is born when you face your own darkness and claim it as part of your power. And for those who stand on the other side, wielding the truth as a weapon, wield it with purpose, with clarity, and with respect for the journey it represents. This is not about destruction for its own sake, but about creating space for authenticity, growth, and transformation. In every encounter, in every challenge, there lies an opportunity to unlock not just the fatal flaws of others, but the hidden strengths within ourselves. You who watch as others are stripped bare, take this moment to reflect on your own armor. What masks do you wear? What secrets do you hide? Because the very act of uncovering weakness in others is an invitation to uncover strength within. The naked truth is uncomfortable, yes, but it is also liberating. It is the foundation upon which greatness is built. So stand tall in the aftermath of their unraveling. Let their fall be a testament not to your cruelty, but to your courage. Courage to face the truth, to dismantle illusions, and to rise above the shadows cast by false pride. Remember, the most formidable power is the power to see clearly, to recognize the fatal flaw, and to choose how you respond. You have the strength to unlock the hidden cracks and to stand unshaken when the facade crumbles. That is the mark of true mastery. In this world, the strongest are not those who never falter, but those who confront their flaws and transform them into fuel for relentless growth. You have seen this truth in others. Now, let it ignite a fire within you, because the greatest flex is not in hiding weakness, but in owning it fully and turning it into unstoppable strength. The funeral you witnessed was not the end, but a beginning, a dark, powerful beginning where truth reigns and authenticity rules. Take this moment, hold it close, and let it guide you through every challenge ahead. For you have unlocked the fatal flaw, yes, but more importantly, you have unlocked a deeper understanding of power itself. A power born not of illusion or pretense, but of raw, unyielding truth. And with that truth, you are unstoppable. The cold reality you force them to face is one that most try desperately to avoid. Because to be stripped naked, to have your fatal flaw exposed, is to stand vulnerable in a world that rewards strength and hides weakness. It is a moment of brutal honesty, a tearing away of every lie they told themselves and everyone else. And in that moment, you become more than a witness. You become the catalyst for a transformation that few survive, but all must reckon with. You have challenged their narrative, dismantled their fortress of self-deception, and in doing so, you shattered their illusion of invincibility. There's a dark beauty in this act because it reveals the raw mechanics of human nature. Pride, arrogance, and self-deception are powerful shields, but beneath them lies a fragile core. This core, once cracked, doesn't just expose vulnerability, it lays bare the very essence of what makes a person human. It forces them to confront their limitations, their fears, and the lies they have told to keep those fears at bay. You unlocked that door and watched as everything they built around themselves crumbled into dust. It's not just a moment of power, it's a moment of reckoning, a profound unveiling of the truth no one else dared reveal. And yet, the power you hold is double-edged, because to unlock someone's fatal flaw, is also to face the weight of responsibility. What you do with that knowledge defines who you are. Will you use it to destroy, to shame, or to diminish? Or will you use it to illuminate, to challenge, and to elevate? True strength lies not in tearing others down, but in using their brokenness to build something stronger, a harsher, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. You've watched their downfall, but now it's time to watch your rise. For every empire that falls, another is built, and that empire is you. The deadliest trap is to revel too long in the destruction you caused. There is no victory in bitterness or cruelty. The real triumph is in rising above it, in using the clarity you gain to cut through your own illusions and face your own flaws. Because make no mistake, every person has a fatal flaw, every king has a weakness, every fortress has a crack. You are no exception. The difference is that you chose to see, to understand, and to master that truth rather than hide from it. That is the essence of growth, and it is the essence of true power. You have been given a rare gift, the ability to see through the masks, to perceive what others miss, and to wield that perception like a blade. But what separates the conqueror from the tyrant is wisdom. The wisdom to know when to strike and when to hold back, when to reveal and when to conceal. Use this power not to destroy recklessly, but to sculpt yourself into something indomitable. Let their fall be the soil in which your strength takes root and grows beyond what you ever imagined possible. Remember, the world is a stage of constant performance, where most play roles dictated by fear and insecurity. You have shattered the script for others. Now rewrite your own. Don't let their fatal flaw become your prison. Instead, let it become your lesson. Because to see another's flaw clearly is to see the map to your own salvation. It's the mirror reflecting the cracks in your own armor, the prompt to refine, sharpen, and evolve. Every moment of vulnerability you witness is an invitation to own your humanity fully, to walk boldly through the darkness knowing that true light is born there. Your path is not easy. It demands grit, honesty, and relentless self-examination. It demands that you face the uncomfortable truths about yourself, that others hide behind grand facades. But that path is also the one that leads to greatness. For those who choose comfort over truth are doomed to be shadows in someone else's story. You have chosen the opposite. You have chosen to wield the power of truth, even when it burns, even when it cuts deep. And that choice sets you apart. So stand firm as you watch their facade fall apart, as you witness their greatest pride turn to ashes. In that moment, you are the storm and the calm, the destroyer and the creator. You are the force that reminds the world that no matter how brightly someone shines, their shadows are always waiting. And more importantly, you are the one who refuses to be blinded by false light. You see clearly, and in that clarity lies your invincibility. Let their downfall be your fuel, but never your end. For every funeral you witness is a warning and a promise. Pride that blinds will always lead to ruin, but humility and truth forge unbreakable strength. Carry that truth with you. Walk forward in the darkness you've illuminated and become the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Because the world doesn't just need another victor. It needs a master of truth, a bearer of clarity, and a warrior of authenticity. The moment you unlocked their fatal flaw was not just a moment of power. It was the birth of a new era for you. An era where you stand unshaken, unmasked, and unbreakable. Where the shadows don't scare you but empower you. Where the truth is not a weapon but a shield. You turn their biggest flex into a funeral, yes, But in that funeral lies the ignition of your own legacy, forged in the flames of truth and resilience. Hold that moment. Own that power. Because you are not just a witness to the fall, you are the architect of your rise. And in the quiet aftermath, when the dust settles and the world looks anew, you will be standing, unshaken, victorious, naked in your truth, and unstoppable in your strength. There's a silence after the storm. A hush falls over the battlefield, not because the fight is over, but because the truth is too heavy to carry in noise. When you unlock their fatal flaw and watch it strip them naked, it's as if the world itself pauses to absorb the gravity of what's been revealed. That silence is not emptiness. It's the space where reckoning takes root. It's the moment where the illusion dissolves, where the great facade crumbles and only the raw, unfiltered reality remains. And in that silence, you stand not as a predator, but as a guardian of truth, a witness to the dismantling of lies. Their fatal flaw was always there, hidden in plain sight, a seed buried beneath years of pride, arrogance, and bravado. You simply unearthed it, pulled it from the depths where they hoped no one would see, and laid it bare for all to witness. And once that flaw was exposed, the mighty fell like kings dethroned, like titans brought low. You didn't create the flaw, you revealed it. You held up the mirror they refused to see. That is the true nature of power, to illuminate what others fear, to expose what others hide, and to face the darkness without blinking. But here's what they don't tell you. Watching someone fall isn't the end of the story. It's merely a chapter. The fatal flaw that you unlocked is a doorway, a painful, humiliating, but necessary doorway that leads to either destruction or rebirth. For those who succumb to their weakness, it is a funeral, a final goodbye to their pride and identity. For those who dare to confront their brokenness, it is a rebirth, a chance to build something stronger on the ruins of their old self. And you who unlocked that door, you hold the power to influence which path they take. Your role is not just as the bearer of truth, but as the force that challenges them to rise or lets them fall. Understand this deeply. Every person you encounter, no matter how strong, has a fatal flaw waiting to be uncovered. It is the shadow behind their light, the whisper behind their roar. Some bury it beneath layers of false confidence. Others drown it in denial, but it is always there, waiting for the moment of exposure. And when that moment comes, it strips away the mask and leaves the soul vulnerable, naked, and trembling. But in vulnerability lies the seed of true strength. The flaw is not a curse. It is a challenge, an invitation to transcend weakness and become something greater. Your power lies in your clarity, in your refusal to be blinded by pretense or false light. You see the flaw, not to exploit it for petty gain, but to understand the truth beneath the surface. Because true mastery is not about control over others. It's about control over yourself. It's about knowing that the same flaw that brought another to their knees could be lurking in your own heart. This is the paradox of power. The more you understand the weaknesses of others, the more you must confront your own. The more you watch others fall, the more you must build the resilience to rise when your own time comes. You turn their biggest flex into a funeral, a devastating transformation that marks the end of their reign and the beginning of your ascendancy. But don't mistake this moment for simple victory. It is far more complex. It is a profound reminder that pride, unchecked and blind, is a slow poison. That confidence, without humility, becomes arrogance, and that no empire built on lies and falsehoods can stand forever. You have torn down a kingdom. Yes, but in that ruin, you must find the lessons that build your own empire, brick by brick, flaw by flaw, truth by truth. The rawness of seeing someone stripped of their false strength is a mirror reflecting the rawness of your own existence. In that moment, the question isn't just what you did to them, but what you will do with yourself. Will you allow your own flaws to be weaponized against you? Will you hide behind a facade, or will you stand naked in your truth? The greatest flex is not the armor you wear to hide your vulnerabilities, but the courage to stand exposed and unshaken in the face of the storm. To witness the downfall of others is to learn the art of resilience. You have seen what happens when pride blinds, when denial suffocates, when truth is feared. Let their funeral be a warning and a guide. Build your foundation on self-awareness, humility, and relentless honesty. For only then can you walk unshaken through the darkest nights, knowing that your power is not in your invincibility, but in your ability to rise again and again. The world will always try to convince you that vulnerability is weakness, that exposure is defeat. But you know better now. You know that the fatal flaw, once uncovered, is a gift, a harsh, painful gift that forces the shedding of lies and the birth of authenticity. You unlocked that door for others, and in doing so, you opened a path for yourself, a path where true power is born, not from illusion or false pride, but from the naked, unbreakable truth of who you are. So as you stand amid the ruins of their greatest flex-turned funeral, take a moment to reflect. You have witnessed the fragility of human strength, the inevitability of downfall when truth is ignored. But more than that, you have glimpsed the limitless potential that comes from facing your own fatal flaws and using them as fuel for transformation. The darkness you have walked through is not the end. It is the forge where your character is tempered, where your power is refined. You unlocked their fatal flaw, and with that unlocking came power, clarity, and the burden of truth. Wear it like armor, not as a weapon. Carry it like a torch, not as a sword. Because in the end, the greatest strength lies not in tearing others down, but in lifting yourself up from the ashes of all that was false and broken. You have learned a brutal truth, that beneath every grand gesture, beneath every boast and every act of defiance, lies a vulnerability, a flaw so profound that it can unravel even the most tightly woven armor. You didn't break them with brute force. You broke them with vision, with insight, with the patient unraveling of a secret thread no one else dared pull. This is a rare kind of power, the power of perception, the power to see what others cannot or will not see. And with that power comes a choice, to be a destroyer or to be a guide, to wield your knowledge for petty triumphs, or to elevate yourself and others by facing the darkness head on. Because the fatal flaw you unlocked isn't just theirs, it is a shadow that lives in us all, a silent whisper of fear and doubt that threatens to undo us when left unchecked. The moment you exposed it in another, you were forced to look inward, to confront the cracks in your own foundation. And that is where true strength is born, not in the downfall of others, but in the relentless pursuit of truth within ourselves. To stand naked before your own flaws is the ultimate act of courage, the one that separates the masters from the victims. Their fall was a spectacle, yes, but don't be fooled into thinking it's the end of their story, or yours. Life is not a simple tale of winners and losers. It is a continuous cycle of destruction and creation, death and rebirth. When their greatest strength became their funeral pyre, it was a signal that the old must die to make way for the new, that nothing built on false pride can survive the relentless light of truth. And you, standing in the aftermath, are the living proof of this cycle. You are the one who dared to look deeper, who dared to face the uncomfortable truth, and who now carries the weight and the opportunity that comes with that knowledge. Never underestimate the power of exposure. To unlock a fatal flaw is to remove the veil, to take away the crutches that propped up a fragile empire of ego. But that exposure also strips you bare. It removes the illusions of control and forces you to face your own humanity. It demands honesty with yourself that few are willing to muster. This is the ultimate paradox of power. The very act of breaking another's facade is an act that can shatter your own, if you are not vigilant. So wield this power with respect, for it is as much a test of your character as it is a weapon against others. In this moment, as you watch the funeral of their pride, consider the funeral of your own illusions. Let their downfall be a mirror that reflects what you must shed within yourself. What masks do you wear? What lies do you tell yourself to avoid facing your own fatal flaw? Because true power isn't about hiding weakness. It's about embracing it fully and transforming it into a source of strength. The world does not respect perfection. It respects authenticity. It respects those who can stand naked, unashamed, and unbroken in the face of their own darkness. You turned their biggest flex into a funeral, yes. You stripped away the veneer of invincibility and revealed the fragile core beneath. And in doing so, you showed the world what real power looks like. Not the false bravado of superficial strength, but the quiet, unyielding force of truth. This moment is yours, but it is also a call to action. A call to look inward and to forge your own path with the same ruthless honesty you used to dismantle theirs. Remember, the fatal flaw you exposed is not just a weapon against others. It is a lens through which you must examine yourself every day. Because the moment you stop looking inward, the moment you believe you are invincible, that is when your own downfall begins. You have seen what happens to those who build their identity on lies and illusions. Now, build yours on something stronger. Build it on truth, on self-awareness, and on the relentless pursuit of growth. Let the funeral of their biggest flex be a lesson etched into your soul. Pride that blinds leads to ruin. Denial that deafens leads to collapse. But humility that listens leads to strength beyond measure. The world is full of those who refuse to face their flaws, who cling desperately to false images of strength. You are not one of them. You are the storm that clears the sky, the force that reveals the hidden cracks, and the light that burns away the shadows. And in that fire, you are reborn, sharper, stronger, and more real than ever before. So take this moment, hold it close, and let it fuel your journey. You have unlocked a secret that few can face, and with that secret comes power, but also responsibility. Use it wisely. Use it to elevate, to challenge, and to transform. For the greatest power is not in tearing down others, but in tearing down your own walls and rising naked, unshaken, and unstoppable. The funeral you witnessed is not the end. It is the beginning of a new era, your era, an era where truth reigns supreme, where flaws are embraced and where real strength is born from the courage to stand exposed. You turn their biggest flex into a funeral. Now, turn your own flaws into your greatest strength. Stand tall in the ashes, for that is where true kings and queens are forged. Ladies and gentlemen, how often do we find ourselves standing in the aftermath of betrayal or emotional warfare? A storm of emotion swirling inside of us, wondering why we weren't enough, wondering why we gave so much only to be left with nothing, but the remnants of a relationship built on false pretenses. Because I'm here to tell you the truth, and it's a hard truth. To swallow those narcissists, they regret losing you, but don't ever expect them to reach out. Because you see, when they discard you, they're not just discarding your love or your presence. They're discarding something far more valuable than they could ever understand. And that's your worth, your essence, your power. When you leave their lives, something shifts, something inside them that they can't quite grasp. Because deep down they know they've lost something that they'll never find again. No matter how many people they try to use, no matter how many egos they feed, no matter how many fake smiles they put on for the world to see, they will never be able to replicate what you were to them. Because you were something real in a world that they've built entirely on lies and manipulation. The truth is that narcissists never truly know what they had until it's gone. They take, and they take, they drain, and they manipulate, but they never understand the value of what they're taking until they can no longer take it from you. And when you're gone, when you finally pull away, when you finally say enough is enough, they feel a loss, a vacuum so deep that it shakes them to their core. But here's the thing, they'll never admit it, because their pride, their inflated sense of self, their fragile egos won't allow them to show vulnerability. They won't allow themselves to acknowledge that they've lost something that they desperately need, something that they could never replace. And so instead of reaching out to you, instead of coming to terms with their regret, they will move on. They will replace you with someone else or something else. Because the thought of admitting weakness to the very person who saw through their charade is simply too much for them to bear. And this is where the real power lies in your hands, because while they continue to live in their bubble of delusion, you're out here living in reality. You're living with the knowledge that you're worth more than what they were ever able to give you, that you were never meant to be. Someone's emotional punching bag, someone's pawn in their game of control. You were never meant to be the one who always gave and gave, while they took and took you were meant for greatness. You were meant for love that isn't conditional. Love that doesn't make you feel small or insignificant. Love that doesn't make you question your worth. Love that sees you for who you truly are, not for who they want you to be in their toxic little world. When you walk away from a narcissist, you leave behind a void, one that they will try to fill with anything or anyone they can find. But here's the catch. Nothing ever quite fills that hole, because they know deep down that no one will ever be able to give them what you gave them. No one will ever love them in the way you did. No one will ever see them for all the flaws and imperfections that they hide behind their grandiose facade. They might try to replace you with someone new, but that person will always be just a placeholder, always just a fleeting distraction, never quite enough to make them feel whole again. And that's something that will eat away at them every single day. You see, the narcissist operates from a place of fear. They are afraid of being vulnerable. They are afraid of being exposed for who they truly are. Because deep down, they know that without the mask they wear, they are nothing. They know that without the control they exert over others, they have nothing to stand on, so they push people away. They discard them like trash when they no longer serve their purpose in their sick little games. And yet, the moment you're gone, the moment you start playing their game, they feel the weight of their own emptiness pressing down on them, and they regret it. They regret losing you. They regret the way they treated you, the way they took you for granted, but they will never admit it, because doing so would require them to face the ugly truth about themselves. And that's something they can't do, because it would shatter the very foundation of their existence. So when they don't reach out, when they don't come crawling back to you, begging for forgiveness, know this. It's not because they don't regret losing you. It's because their pride and their ego won't allow them to admit the truth. It's because they cannot allow themselves to show that kind of vulnerability to the very person who saw through their lies, who saw them for who they truly are. But trust me when I tell you, they are living with the regret of losing someone as powerful as you. Every single day, they are living with the knowledge that they will never find anyone who can make them feel the way you made them feel. But they won't ever let you see that they won't ever give you the satisfaction of knowing that they are suffering because of their own actions, because that would mean admitting that you were right all along. And here's the kicker. When you look back at them, when you think about all the things they did to you, all the lies they told you, all the ways they manipulated and hurt, you don't feel sorry for them. Don't feel any pity, because their regret is not your burden to carry. Their pain is not your responsibility. They created that pain for themselves. They built that regret with every lie, every betrayal, every cruel word they ever said to you, and now they have to live with the consequences of their actions. So don't let them off the hook. Don't allow them to play the victim when they come crawling back in the future, because trust me, when I tell you, they will try. They will try to find a way back into your life when they realize that the grass isn't greener on the other side, when they realize that the people they replaced you with don't give them the same sense of power and control that you did. But when they come back, when they knock on your door, begging for your forgiveness, remember this moment. Remember the strength it took to walk away. Remember that you are better than them. Remember that you are deserving of more than they could ever give you, and don't ever let them back in, because their regret means nothing without change. Their apology means nothing without accountability. Their remorse is nothing but a fleeting feeling that will disappear the moment they find someone else to manipulate and control. And if you let them back into your life, you're just allowing them to do it all over again. You're giving them the chance to hurt you once more. And you deserve so much more than that. You deserve someone who will appreciate you, someone who will see you for who you truly are, and who will love you in a way that fills you up instead of draining you dry. So as you move forward, as you continue to heal from the wounds they left behind, remember this. You are not the one who lost something. You are the one who gained something. You gained the strength to walk away. You gained the clarity to see through their lies. You gained the wisdom to know that you are worthy of so much more than they could ever offer you. And every day that passes, you get stronger, you get wiser, you get closer to the life you were always meant to live without them. And in that strength, in that clarity, in that wisdom, lies your true power, because when you stop waiting for them to regret it, when you stop waiting for them to come back and make things right, you free yourself from the chains they tried to place around you, and that's when you truly begin to live. You see, the narcissist's world is fragile, built upon deception and manipulation. Every moment they spend attempting to control others is a reminder of how deeply insecure they are. It's almost as if their entire existence is a facade, a performance designed to protect them from the overwhelming fear of being seen for what they truly are. And that's where you come in. You were the one person who could see through that mask, the one who understood that their grandiosity was nothing more than a desperate attempt to cover up a hollow soul. That is a threat they cannot allow themselves to face. And so, when they lose you, it's not just about losing a relationship. It's about losing control, losing the one person who saw their true self and chose not to be fooled by it. In their mind, you were never meant to be a permanent fixture. You were meant to fulfill a need, perhaps validation, perhaps a momentary escape from their inner turmoil. But when you walked away, you destroyed the illusion they had so carefully crafted around their life. You took away their ability to manipulate, their power to dictate the terms of the relationship, their ability to control how others saw them, and for that, they will never forgive you. Because, in the narcissist's mind, the world revolves around them. You were simply a part of their narrative, a character they needed to fuel their sense of superiority. The fact that you left them has no place in their story, and so, they rewrite it. They move forward, pretending that everything is fine, while inside, they are rotting away with the gnawing realization that they will never find someone like you again. But let me make this clear. Their inability to reach out is not a sign of their strength. It's not a testament to their superiority. It's an indication of their weakness. They cannot admit to regret, because doing so would strip them of their power. To reach out would be to acknowledge that you were right, that they failed you, that they lost something they will never get back. And that kind of vulnerability is beyond them. Their ego cannot handle it. So they push that regret deep inside, locking it away where no one can see, all the while convincing themselves that they are better off without you. But deep down, when the lights go off and the noise fades away, they know the truth. They know they lost something irreplaceable, something they took for granted until it was too late. There's a certain darkness that comes with this realization. The narcissist is so consumed by their own reflection that they cannot see the pain they cause. They cannot understand the devastation they leave behind, because for them, everything is about themselves. You are simply a means to an end, and when you no longer serve their purpose, you are discarded. But what they fail to recognize is that people are not disposable. The love, the care, the loyalty you gave was real, and once you walk away, the void left behind is something they cannot fill with their usual tricks and distractions. They may find temporary solace in another person, but it won't last. No one can replace the depth of the connection you shared, because your love was real, your presence was genuine, and even though they can never admit it, even though they will continue to paint you as the villain in their distorted narrative, they regret losing you. You were never just a side character in their story, you were integral. You were the person who saw beyond the surface, who understood them in a way no one else could. And when you left, you took away the only person who ever truly saw them for who they were. That's a loss they will carry with them, even if they refuse to acknowledge it outwardly. They may pretend they don't care, may move on to someone new, but the hole they created when they let you go is one they will never fill. It's like a wound that never heals, a scar that grows deeper with each passing day, and every time they look in the mirror, they are reminded of the one person who knew them better than anyone else, the person they pushed away, the person they will never be able to find again. The hardest part of all this is that the narcissist never learns. They never grow. They never change. They simply continue living in their cycle of self-deception, convincing themselves that they are always in control, always above reproach. And so, when they don't reach out to you, when they don't come crawling back with a heartfelt apology, it's not because they don't care. It's because they cannot admit to their own flaws. They cannot face the truth of what they've done. They cannot bear to be seen as weak, as someone who regrets their actions. They are trapped in a prison of their own making, and they will never allow anyone, especially you, to see the cracks in their armor. But you are free. You are no longer bound by their manipulation, no longer tethered to their games. You are free to move forward, to heal, to rebuild your life. And while the narcissist may never reach out, while they may never come to you with the apology you deserve, you don't need that. You don't need their validation. You don't need their acknowledgement. What you need is to understand your own worth. You need to recognize that your value was never tied to their approval or their love. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because you gave, because you loved, because you saw the good in someone who didn't deserve it. And now you can walk away knowing that you gave your best, knowing that you did everything you could, and knowing that you don't need their recognition to validate your worth. The narcissist, on the other hand, will continue to chase an empty dream, forever looking for someone to fill the hole inside of them. They may find temporary relief in new people, new relationships, new distractions, but it will never be enough. They will never be able to replicate the depth of what you offered them. And that, my friends, is their punishment. That is their curse. They will live the rest of their lives in a cycle of loneliness, desperately trying to fill a void they created, all the while pretending that they are happy, that they are content, that they are better off without you. But you and I both know the truth. The truth is that no one will ever replace you. No one will ever love them the way you did. And deep down, they know that. They know they lost something priceless, and that regret will gnaw at them until the end of their days. But here's the thing. Don't waste another second waiting for them to reach out. Don't waste another moment thinking that they will ever come to their senses. They won't, and you don't need them to. You have already outgrown them. You have already moved on, whether they know it or not. You are stronger now. You are wiser. You are no longer the person they tried to shape you into. You are not the victim of their manipulation. You are the survivor, the one who walked away, the one who saw through their lies and decided to choose yourself instead. So, when they don't reach out, when they never come back, remember this. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of theirs. It's a reflection of their inability to love, their inability to grow, and their inability to recognize something truly valuable when it's right in front of them. And while they will regret losing you, while they will never find anyone who can fill the space you left behind, you are moving forward, and that's what truly matters. You are building a life without them, a life that is not defined by their presence or absence, a life that is yours and yours alone. You see, in the end, the greatest revenge you can have is not to seek validation from someone who never deserved you. The greatest revenge is to walk away and live the life you were always meant to live. The greatest revenge is to thrive, to flourish, to find peace in knowing that you are better off without them. And as they watch from the sidelines, as they see you live the life they can never have, you will know that you have won. You will know that you are always the prize, always the one who is worth fighting for, always the one they let slip through their fingers. So trust me when I say that they regret losing you. But also trust me when I say this. You are better off without them, and that is a victory they can never take from you. The thing about the narcissist is that they have spent so much of their life perfecting the art of deception, not just with others, but with themselves. They have built a world so intricately designed that it requires constant upkeep, constant manipulation, constant validation from anyone around them. They need to be the center of attention, the one who shines, the one who is adored. And yet, underneath all the posturing and the inflated ego, there lies a deep, empty chasm, a chasm they fear to confront, a chasm they will do anything to avoid. It's that emptiness that drives them to manipulate, to control, to gaslight, to discard. And when you're gone, when you're no longer a part of their world, they're left staring into that abyss, knowing deep down that they have lost someone who could have filled it. But they will never admit it. They will never be the ones to ask for forgiveness, because their fragile egos are more important than any genuine human connection. In many ways, their regret is a silent poison that they will carry with them every day, gnawing at them from the inside. It's not the kind of regret that leads to growth or change, though. It's the kind of regret that feeds their resentment, their pride, and their inability to admit fault. They will look back at the moments when they pushed you away, when they tested your loyalty, when they discarded you without so much as a second thought. And in those moments, a small, barely noticeable flicker of remorse will pass through them, but it will be drowned out by their need to protect their self-image. They cannot afford to show vulnerability, to admit that they were wrong, because that would mean revealing to the world and to themselves that they are not the infallible, perfect beings they present to the world. So they bury that regret deep within, hiding it behind the walls of their pride, and continue to convince themselves that they are better off without you. But here's the crux of the matter. They know they aren't. They know they've lost something irreplaceable, something they will never get back. And that's the cruel irony of the narcissist's world. They will spend their lives accumulating temporary satisfactions, fleeting relationships, shallow victories, but they will never experience the kind of love you gave them. They will never experience the authenticity, the deep connection that you offered, and that realization will haunt them in ways they will never be able to articulate. It will eat away at them, quietly, steadily, until it becomes a part of them. And even though they may continue on, pretending everything is fine, pretending they are unbothered, the truth is that they will never find another like you. Now, let's talk about your side of this equation. You might still find yourself wondering why they didn't reach out, why they didn't apologize, why they didn't come back, groveling at your feet like they should have. And I'll tell you this, it's not because they didn't feel the loss, it's because they cannot afford to show it. You were never a person to them, you were an object, an extension of their narrative, a tool in their game. The moment you stopped playing, the moment you walked away, you became irrelevant to them, even though that's far from the truth. You were the one who saw them for who they were. You were the one who held up the mirror and reflected their true face back at them. And when you left, you shattered their illusion. In their twisted, self-centered world, they never expected you to be the one to walk away. You were supposed to remain loyal, forever at their beck and call, always available for their manipulation and their emotional needs. You were supposed to be the constant, the one person who would always be there, no matter how badly they treated you, but you didn't. You left, and in doing so, you stripped them of their greatest asset, the power they held over you. And that's why, despite their regrets, they will never reach out. To do so would be to admit weakness. To ask for your forgiveness would be to expose themselves for the fraud they truly are. So instead, they push those feelings of regret deep into their subconscious, where they can pretend they don't exist. But rest assured, they are there, festering and growing, turning into something dark and consuming. But while they are locked in their internal battle of pride and regret, you are free. You are free to move on. You are free to find peace, to heal, to reclaim the parts of yourself they tried to steal from you. You are free to rebuild your life in a way that serves your highest good, without the weight of their manipulation holding you back. And that's the real victory here. Not that they regret losing you, but that you were strong enough to walk away, to reclaim your power, and to realize that your value was never tied to their approval or validation. Think about that for a moment. When you were with them, you may have been blinded by their charm, their promises, their manipulation. You may have convinced yourself that they were the one for you, that you could fix them, that their love was worth fighting for. But in reality, their love was never real. Their affection was conditional, based on what you could provide them in that moment. The moment you stopped feeding into their needs, the moment you stopped playing their game, they discarded you like a used tissue. And that's because, in the narcissist's eyes, you were never truly a person. You were just a tool to serve their ego. And that's where the beauty of walking away lies. When you leave, you reclaim your autonomy. You stop being a pawn in someone else's game. You stop living according to their rules, according to their ever-changing whims. You take back control over your own life, and that is a power they can never take away from you. Yes, they will regret losing you. Yes, they will feel the sting of your absence. But that regret is theirs to carry, not yours. You have moved on. You have healed. You have taken the lessons learned from that painful experience and turned them into something stronger, something more powerful. You have become the person you are always meant to be, free from their chains. Let them regret losing you. Let them suffer the consequences of their own actions. But don't you dare allow their regret to be a weight around your neck. You have already suffered enough. You have already given them the best of you. You have already been hurt in ways that no one should have to endure. And now, you get to choose how you move forward. You get to choose your next chapter, and it is one that is free of their toxicity, free of their manipulation, free of their false promises. In time, they may try to reach out to you. They may try to slip back into your life under the guise of an apology or an offer of reconciliation. But remember this, nothing has changed. They have not changed. They will still be the same person who hurt you, who took you for granted, who never truly valued you. They will still be the person who treated you as if you were disposable. And the moment they realize that they cannot have you back, they will find someone new to manipulate, someone new to control, someone new to use. But you don't need them. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. You are enough on your own. You are stronger than they ever gave you credit for. And when they look back at their life, when they think of you and the love you gave, they will realize too late that they lost something that can never be replaced. But that's their burden to carry, not yours. You are moving forward. You are living your truth. And in the end, that is all that matters. In the end, the narcissist may regret losing you, but they will never admit it. Their pride, ego, and fear of vulnerability will keep them from reaching out, even though deep down, they know they've lost something irreplaceable. But that's their burden to carry, not yours. You've walked away, reclaimed your power, and found your worth. You no longer need their validation or approval to recognize your value. The real victory lies in your strength to move forward, free from their manipulation and toxicity. As they continue to chase fleeting distractions, you are building a life that honors your true self, one that they will never be a part of again. And that is the ultimate freedom. Listen closely. This isn't just another pep talk, not some shallow cheer to fill the silence. This is a call from the shadows, a moment when everything you thought you understood about patience, about silence, about calm, shatters because you finally see clearly. You were calm, steady, measured, watching, waiting, holding your tongue while the noise around you grew louder and more absurd. You held back the storm inside you because you knew better. You knew that sometimes silence speaks louder than words, that calm is power disguised. But then, the mask cracked, the veil lifted, and what you saw wasn't just foolishness. It was a depth of ignorance so glaring that it made your blood boil in slow, deliberate waves. You saw the truth of how dumb they really are. Not just simple mistakes or harmless blunders, but the kind of blindness that fumbles through reality and pretends it's wise. That moment when you realized you were calm, only because the storm had yet to fully break inside you. It's not easy to keep that calm when you know the truth. It's not easy to bite your tongue while those around you make fools of themselves, dragging reason through the mud laughing at wisdom and mocking clarity. But now, that calm has fractured, not into chaos, but into something darker, sharper. A blade forged from cold understanding. The calm you wore was not weakness, it was control. But control can only last for so long before it becomes a cage. And you, my friend, have just found the key. You exposed how dumb they really are. And with that exposure, the illusion is gone. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand what they're saying. They stumble like children lost in a maze with no exit. And you, standing at the edge of the maze, watch as they struggle, watching the cracks spread across their faces, watching the confidence drain into thin air. You keep making them look stupid. It's not a game. It's not petty revenge or a childish taunt. It's a revelation, a mirror held up so brutally that they cannot look away. Because every time you speak truth, every time you don't let their nonsense slide, you strip away their power. You reveal the fragility beneath the loud voices, the emptiness beneath the boastful claims. You don't do it for them, you do it for yourself. Because silence, once shattered by truth, demands respect. And respect is something they have long forgotten how to earn. They thrive in the shadows of ignorance, but you bring the light, cold and merciless, illuminating the cracks they try desperately to hide. Remember, calm is not absence of emotion. It's mastery over it. You held that mastery until the sheer absurdity of their foolishness could no longer be contained. They tested your patience, pushed your limits, and thought your silence meant surrender. But no, it was the quiet before the storm, and now the storm has come. You exposed them because you refuse to be dragged into their madness. You refuse to be complicit in the charade. You stand tall and watch them crumble under the weight of their own nonsense, and in that moment, you are untouchable. Because clarity is a weapon, sharper than any blade. It cuts through lies, deception, and ignorance, leaving only the truth behind, raw, unfiltered, undeniable. Every time they flounder, every time they contradict themselves, every time they try to regain control and fail spectacularly, you see it. You see the cracks. You see the weakness. You see the desperation masked as confidence. And you don't flinch. You don't hesitate. You let the truth speak for itself, because it always does. Their stupidity isn't just a flaw. It's a weakness in the foundation, a crack in the armor that you expose with ruthless precision. They may try to cover it up. They may try to shift blame or confuse the narrative, but you have the clarity of mind and the steadiness of spirit to keep breaking through until the truth stands naked before them all. You were calm, but now you're something else. You are a force forged in the fire of realization. You are the reckoning that comes when ignorance dares to masquerade as wisdom. You are the reminder that silence does not mean submission, and calm does not mean weakness. You carry the weight of truth, and with every word you speak, you remind them how far they have fallen. They keep making themselves look stupid, and you keep watching, steady, unyielding, unstoppable. This is your moment, the moment when you rise above the noise, when your calm shatters into something undeniable. The moment when you show not just them, but the world, that you see clearly, that you refuse to be fooled, manipulated, or silenced. You keep making them look stupid, yes. But in doing so, you make yourself stronger. Because the truth doesn't just expose others, it frees you. It lifts you above the chaos and places you on a pedestal of clarity, power, an undeniable presence. So stand firm, speak boldly, watch relentlessly. The calm was your shield, but now your voice is your sword, and the battlefield is theirs. You keep making them look stupid, and with every moment, you carve out a space where truth reigns, where clarity cuts through the fog, and where you stand, not just calm, but victorious. There's a brutal kind of justice in exposing the truth, a justice that doesn't wear a smile or offer consolation. It's cold. It's unyielding. It demands recognition and revolt and respect, and it punishes arrogance and ignorance with ruthless efficiency. When you are calm, you are gathering strength, measuring your power, observing the battlefield. But once you exposed how dumb they really are, you became the reckoning. You became the undeniable force that shifts everything in the room, that unsettles the ground beneath their feet, that forces them to confront the cracks in their own armor. And make no mistake, they will feel it. That moment when their confidence shatters, when their carefully crafted facades crumble under the weight of your clarity, is a moment of pure power for you. Because in that instant, you prove something essential. Calm does not mean powerless. Silence does not mean submission. You keep making them look stupid. That's not an accident. It's your strategy, your weapon, your refusal to play by their rules or accept their nonsense as truth. Every time you speak, every time you refuse to let their ignorance slide, you strip away their power. You tear down their illusions piece by piece until what's left is raw vulnerability, a truth they cannot deny but desperately want to ignore. It's a reminder to them and to yourself that intelligence isn't measured by volume or bravado, but by clarity, insight, and the courage to face reality without flinching. But here's the truth many don't understand. Exposing stupidity is only part of the battle. The real fight is within. Because once you see the depth of ignorance around you, once you feel the full weight of how little some understand, you have to guard your own mind, your own spirit, against becoming cynical or bitter. The darkness that comes from recognizing how dumb they really are can easily consume you if you let it. That's why your calm was never just about holding back your words. It was about holding on to your soul, your integrity, your reason. You keep making them look stupid, but you do it with precision, with purpose. You don't stoop to their level. You don't need to. Their stupidity makes the work easy. They trip over their own words. They contradict themselves in ways so blatant, it's almost comical. But your calm presence is what makes it devastating. You are the eye of the storm, unmoved, unshaken, clear-headed. And in your presence, their foolishness becomes glaringly obvious. Their noise becomes meaningless. Their false confidence turns to dust. This is the power of the calm exposed to truth. It's a force that doesn't just reveal others' weakness, it strengthens your own foundation. You realize that their ignorance cannot define you or diminish you. Instead, it sharpens your vision, hones your mind, steels your resolve. You become someone who is not just aware of the chaos and foolishness around you, but who rises above it with a dark, unbreakable strength. You are a sentinel of truth in a world that often embraces deception. And that role is not easy, but it is powerful beyond measure. You were calm until you exposed how dumb they really are. And now you walk a different path. The path of someone who no longer tolerates nonsense, who no longer gives space to ignorance, who refuses to be silent when truth demands to be spoken. You keep making them look stupid because it is a necessary act of clarity, a defense against the tide of foolishness threatening to drown out reason. It is a reminder to the world and to yourself that truth will always find a way to shine, even when surrounded by darkness. And the most beautiful part? In doing this, in refusing to stay silent, you inspire others. Others who have been silenced by the noise, who have been swallowed by confusion and doubt. You show them that calm is not weakness, that silence is not surrender. You show them that exposing stupidity is an act of courage, an act of liberation, that the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, is worth standing for. And when others see you stand firm, unshaken, unafraid, they find their own courage, they find their own voice. So, continue. Continue to be the calm in the storm, the blade that cuts through the noise, the voice that shatters illusions. Keep making them look stupid, not because you want to tear them down, but because you refuse to let their ignorance go unchallenged. Because you know that every time you expose the truth, every time you refuse to be silent, you build something stronger. Not just in yourself, but in the world around you. You build a world where clarity matters, where intelligence is respected, where truth is the ultimate power. You were calm until you exposed how dumb they really are, and now calm is just the beginning of a revolution in your mind, your spirit, your life. A revolution where truth rules and foolishness falls. A revolution where you are not just a survivor, but a conqueror. A force of nature carved from calm and forged in truth. Unstoppable, unbreakable, unshakable. You have to understand the calm before the storm is not peace. It's preparation. It's the quiet before the breaking point, the moment when everything inside you gathers, focused and contained, waiting for the truth to rip through the lies like a blade through fabric. You were calm, not because you were indifferent, but because you were strategic, because you knew that exposing their ignorance without losing your composure would strike harder than any outburst or tantrum ever could. Your silence was a weapon, a shield, a test of endurance. And when you finally exposed how dumb they really are, it wasn't a loss of control. It was a release of power. Well, think about what that means. It means you have mastered yourself in a way most never do. While they stumble blindly through confusion, you stand clear-eyed, watching them unravel. You see their contradictions, their empty bravado, their desperate grasping for authority when none exists. And in that seeing, you do more than just call them out. You dismantle the very foundations of their false confidence. Because there is nothing more devastating than truth spoken calmly, without hatred or anger, but with unwavering certainty. It cuts deeper than any scream, because it exposes the soul of the matter, the naked, undeniable stupidity hiding behind their facades. You keep making them look stupid, yes, but that phrase isn't a joke or an insult. It's a battle cry. It's the echo of your clarity bouncing off the walls of ignorance they built around themselves. Every time you catch them in their own contradictions, every time you refuse to let their nonsense slide, you tear away a piece of the illusion. And illusions, no matter how loud, how persistent, cannot stand against the unyielding force of truth. You are that force. And let me be clear, this is not easy. This path of clarity, of calm, exposed to chaos, is lonely. It is isolating. Many will misunderstand you, misinterpret your silence or your words. They will call you cold, detached, unfeeling. But that is the price of seeing the world clearly when others choose blindness. You are not responsible for their ignorance, their insecurities, their foolishness. You are only responsible for how you respond to it, and you respond with precision, with restraint, with the calm power of someone who has chosen not to be dragged into the mud. You were calm until the weight of their stupidity became impossible to bear. And once you exposed it, once you shined that harsh light on the cracks in their armor, you became unstoppable. Because the calm you carry now is not fragile. It is forged. It is the calm of someone who has seen the depths of folly and refused to be broken by it. The calm of someone who knows that truth is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. You keep making them look stupid because every time you do, you reaffirm your own strength. You declare to the world and to yourself that you will not be silenced, that you will not be fooled, that you will not settle for less than truth. And in that declaration, you become something rare, something powerful. You become a beacon in the darkness, a voice cutting through the noise, a mind unclouded by lies and illusions. You become the calm in a world desperate for reason, the clarity in a storm of confusion. You were calm, but now you are so much more. You are the force that exposes the truth, the presence that shatters the facade, the strength that refuses to bow to ignorance. So keep going. Keep making them look stupid. Not because you want to hurt, but because you owe it to yourself to stand firm in truth. Because every time you do, you grow stronger, sharper, more unbreakable. Because calm was never your weakness. It was your power waiting to be unleashed. And now, that power is yours to wield, unapologetically, relentlessly, unstoppably. You were calm until you exposed how dumb they really are. And in that exposure, you found your true strength. There's a dangerous beauty in calm that no one understands until they've lived it. That stillness in the eye of chaos, the quiet force that holds everything together while the world around it falls apart. You held that calm because you knew what was coming. You knew that ignorance would reveal itself, that foolishness would be laid bare. You waited, steady, while they fumbled in the dark, thinking their noise could drown out your clarity. But noise is just a distraction, and distraction is a weakness. You don't waste your breath fighting noise. You expose the silence beneath it, the silence where truth waits. You keep making them look stupid because you refuse to normalize nonsense. You refuse to smile politely while their ignorance spreads like a virus. You refuse to nod along when they speak with false certainty. Every time you call it out, every time you refuse to let it slide, you remind yourself and everyone watching that truth is not negotiable. That intelligence, insight, clarity, these things matter. That you will not let foolishness walk unchecked by reason or restraint. Your calm is not passive. It's an active force, a deliberate choice to wield your power with precision. They don't realize it, but every time you expose their stupidity, you change the game. You shift the balance. You show that the mask of competence they wear is thin, fragile, and easily torn. And with every tear, you build something stronger inside yourself, a deeper sense of purpose, a sharper understanding of your own strength. You were calm, but calm was just the surface. Beneath it, a storm was building, a storm fueled by the relentless clarity of seeing things as they truly are. And what they don't understand is this: you don't need to yell. You don't need to rage. Your calm is louder than their noise because it carries the weight of truth. It carries the certainty of someone who has looked into the abyss of ignorance and refused to blink. You keep making them look stupid, not because you want to humiliate, but because their foolishness threatens the very fabric of the world you navigate. It threatens progress. understanding, and the very essence of reason. And you will not stand by while that threat grows unchecked. You are the storm they never saw coming. You are the calm turned fierce. You are the voice that refuses to be silenced by the roar of nonsense. And in every moment you expose them, you carve out a space where truth can breathe, where intelligence can flourish, where reason reigns. That space is your domain. That space is where you rise. That space is where you become more than calm. You become unstoppable. So keep your eyes sharp. Keep your words measured but powerful. Keep your presence unshakable. Because the world needs people like you. People who refuse to let ignorance win, who refuse to let foolishness go unchecked, who stand firm in the dark and hold the line for truth. You were calm until you exposed how dumb they really are, and now, calm is your armor, your weapon, your legacy. You keep making them look stupid, and in doing so, you remind the world that clarity, insight, and truth will always find a way. No matter how loud the noise, no matter how deep the darkness, the calm exposed to truth is the most dangerous force of all. In the end, the calm you held was never about weakness or retreat. It was about mastery of yourself, your mind, and your spirit. It was about choosing your moment, choosing the way you would wield your power, and refusing to be pulled into the chaos that so many embrace without question. You were calm because you knew the truth needed space to grow. That anger and noise only drown out the clarity you carry inside. But once you exposed how dumb they really are, that calm transformed into something far greater. It became your sword and shield, your steady hand in a world gone mad. You keep making them look stupid, yes. But in doing so, you're doing more than just exposing their flaws. You're setting a standard of truth over deception, clarity over confusion, strength over weakness. Every time their ignorance is revealed, you light a candle in the dark, a beacon for others who have felt lost in the fog of nonsense. You show that it's possible to stand firm, to speak clearly, and to remain unshaken even when the world around you crumbles in ignorance. This is not just a battle against stupidity, it's a fight for the integrity of your own mind and soul. It's a refusal to be dragged down by the chaos, a declaration that you will not be made small by their noise. The calm you once wore was preparation. The exposure of their foolishness was liberation. And now, the calm is your power, refined and unstoppable. It is the calm of someone who knows that truth is the ultimate force, silent but deadly, steady but fierce, invisible but undeniable. So hold on to that calm and let it carry you through every storm. Keep exposing the foolishness, not for the sake of tearing others down, but for the sake of lifting yourself and those who watch you rise. Because in a world that often rewards the loudest and the dumbest, your calm and clarity are revolutionary. They are the quiet force that will reshape everything. You were calm until you exposed how dumb they really are. And in that exposure, you found your true strength. You keep making them look stupid, not because you seek to harm, but because you stand for something greater: truth, clarity, and the unshakable power of calm forged into conviction. And with that power, nothing can stop you. Welcome back, Alpha audience. This is your moment to rise. This is your chance to prove to the world the strength that lies dormant within you. This is the time to stand tall and face the storm head on. Because the reality is, they threw dirt on your name. They took their filthy hands and smeared the very essence of who you are on the ground. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still fighting. The audacity of their actions may have shocked you. At first, perhaps it hurt. Perhaps it felt like the world had conspired against you. Perhaps you felt helpless, as if the ground beneath you was slipping away. But I am here to tell you today that what they tried to bury with their words will only serve to nourish the fire that is rising within you. They threw dirt on your name, but what they didn't realize is that they were planting the seeds of your greatness. They believed that by tarnishing your reputation they could break you. They thought by casting lies and falsehoods upon you, they could diminish your worth. But in reality, all they did was ignite the fuel for your comeback. See, they didn't understand the power of resilience. They didn't understand that you are not like everyone else. You are different. You are a force of nature. And when people throw dirt on you, it only makes you grow stronger. You see, dirt has a way of making things grow. It has a way of feeding the roots of something that will eventually break through the surface and rise above the rest, just like a seed in the ground. When it is buried under the earth, it doesn't die. It begins to grow. It begins to stretch toward the light, toward the sun, toward its purpose, and the same thing is happening to you. The more dirt they throw, the higher you will climb and the stronger you will become. The thing is, they didn't realize the value of what they were trying to bury. When they tried to soil your name, they were only adding weight to your journey. But instead of letting that weight crush you, you're using it as the foundation upon which you will stand. You're not letting the lies define you. You're not letting the hate control you. You're not letting the judgment hinder you. You are using it as the very fuel that will propel you forward. So let them talk. Let them lie. Let them smear your name. Let them spread their falsehoods and deceit, because none of that matters. None of it changes who you are, and none of it changes the path that you are on. You are an unstoppable force moving toward your destiny, with a power that cannot be shaken by the words of small-minded individuals who are threatened by your potential. Let them throw dirt on you. Let them do their worst, because it will only make you grow. It will only make you better, and it will only make you more powerful. But understand this. Your journey is not going to be easy. No great journey ever is. No path to greatness is ever free of obstacles, but that's the beauty of it, because the obstacles will shape you. They will mold you. They will forge you into something unbreakable. They will make you stronger than you ever thought possible. So don't shy away from the struggle. Don't cower in fear when they come after you. Don't retreat into the shadows when they throw their dirt. Your way instead. Stand tall. Embrace the challenge and let the world know that you will not be broken. You will not be defeated. You will rise above it all. There's a lesson to be learned from the dirt they throw at you. And that lesson is this. The ones who throw dirt are often the ones who fear you the most. They know the power you possess. They know the greatness within you. They see something in you that they could never attain. So they try to bring you down. They try to tarnish your image. They try to destroy your spirit because they are afraid of what you will become. And that fear is what will ultimately drive you to greatness. Let their fear fuel your ambition. Let their doubt strengthen your resolve. Let their hate be the fire that ignites your passion. But also know this: as you rise and as you grow, there will be moments where you feel like you can't go on. There will be moments where the weight of the world feels too heavy and the voices of doubt begin to creep in. But in those moments, remember this: you are not alone. You are not the first person to face adversity. You are not the first person to have dirt thrown at you, and you will not be the last. But what sets you apart is your ability to rise above it all, to stand tall, when everyone else would fall, to keep moving forward, when the world wants you to stop. Your strength is not measured by how many times you are knocked down. Your strength is measured by how many times you get back up. Your power is not defined by the circumstances you face. It is defined by how you respond to those circumstances. And I promise you this, as long as you refuse to stay down, as long as you refuse to let the dirt bury you, as long as you keep fighting, the world will have no choice but to recognize your power. And let me be clear, this is not about seeking revenge. It's not about proving anyone wrong. It's not about showing them that they were wrong to doubt you. This is about proving to yourself that you are capable of greatness. This is about showing yourself that no matter what happens, no matter what they throw at you, no matter how much dirt they pile on top of you, you will rise, you will become more than they ever thought possible. And you will do it on your terms. They will not define you. Their lies will not define you. Their hate will not define you. You are the master of your own fate. You are the creator of your own destiny. And as long as you stay true to who you are and never lose sight of your purpose, you will rise above it all. You will stand tall in the face of adversity, and you will show the world exactly what you are made of. So don't let their words affect you. Don't let their lies take root in your mind. Don't let their hate seep into your heart, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say. What matters is who you are and who you are becoming. And when you look back on this moment, when you look back on the dirt they threw on your name, you will see it for what it truly is. You will see it as the catalyst for your greatness. You will see it as the spark that ignited the fire that is now unstoppable. The world will know your name. The world will see your power. The world will recognize your greatness. And when they do, they will realize that they underestimated you. They will realize that all the dirt they threw on you only made you stronger, only made you more determined, only made you more unstoppable. They will see you rise above it all, and they will know that you are not someone to be messed with. So take this moment, take this challenge, take this opportunity to prove to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you are capable of anything. Because you are the alpha. You are the one who will rise when others fall. You are the one who will stand tall when the world tries to knock you down. And you are the one who will make your mark on this world, no matter what dirt they throw at you. Remember this, they threw dirt on your name, but that dirt will never define you. It will never break you. It will only make you stronger. And when the dust settles, you will stand tall as the living proof that no matter how much they try to bury you, you will always rise above it all always. Rise above it all always, because the dirt they threw at you will only make you shine brighter, not dull your light. They underestimated the resilience that flows through your veins, the strength that resides in the core of your being. The truth is, they thought you'd crumble. They thought you'd disappear into the shadows, forgotten and defeated. But now, you stand before them as living proof that nothing, absolutely nothing, can extinguish the fire within you. Let them keep throwing their dirt. Let them keep trying to bury your potential under layers of doubt and hate. They don't realize that with every piece of dirt they throw, they're only helping you climb higher. They think their words can destroy you, but in reality, they are simply feeding the foundation of your rise. Every hateful comment, every smear, every attempt to drag you down only strengthens the roots of your willpower, driving you deeper into the ground, giving you a greater foothold to spring forward. They are laying the groundwork for your triumph. The dirt they throw is no longer an insult. It's the very soil in which you will grow. It's time to understand this. Life doesn't give you strength by giving you an easy path. Strength is forged in the fire of adversity, in the struggle, in the times when the world feels like it's against you. You know the feeling, don't you? The feeling when the weight of the world seems to crush your spirit, when people are quick to judge and criticize, when they turn away from you at your lowest. But here's the thing, the moment you rise, they will be forced to watch as you leave them behind. You can almost hear the whispers of doubt, the mockery, the cheers. They say you'll never make it. They say you'll fall, just like everyone else. But they are wrong. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know the depths of your resolve. They haven't witnessed the fire in your heart that refuses to go out. And it's time you show them. When people throw dirt, they want you to sink. They want you to feel helpless, to wallow in the mud of their accusations. But you are different. You have a power inside of you that they cannot comprehend. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. Every challenge they throw at you only sharpens your focus, refines your purpose, and makes your resolve unbreakable. You don't crumble under pressure, you stand taller because of it. They can call you names, they can spread lies, they can try to destroy your reputation, but what they can't do is take away your inner strength. They can never touch the fire that burns within your soul. And when you rise, when you stand up and show the world that you will not be defeated, they will realize that their attempts to drag you down were nothing more than the spark that ignited your power. You see, adversity doesn't break people. It reveals who they truly are. When life comes at you with all its fury, it's not about the pain you endure. It's about what you do with that pain. Will you let it consume you? Will you let the darkness take over? Or will you use it to fuel your ascent? The choice is yours, and you, my friend, are a warrior. You have the power to rise above it all. They want to see you stumble. They want to see you fail. But what they don't know is that failure is just another word for growth. Failure is where you find your true potential. It's where you learn who you really are and what you're capable of. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it. Let it mold you into the version of yourself you've always been meant to be. Every time you fall, get back up stronger. Every time you're knocked down, rise with more determination. Because the truth is, the world can throw as much dirt as it wants at you, but you will never be buried unless you choose to stay down. And let's talk about that for a moment. Choosing to stay down is the only thing that can stop you. They will try to convince you that you're not good enough. They will try to make you believe that you are defined by their words, their judgments, their perceptions. But none of that matters. What matters is what you believe about yourself. What matters is your faith in your ability to rise above, no matter what they throw at you. When they look at you, they might see someone broken, someone who is bruised, someone who has been hurt. But what they don't see is the fire that burns deep inside you. They don't see the warrior who has been through hell and back and has come out stronger on the other side. They don't see the quiet strength you possess, the power that cannot be broken by their insults, their lies, or their negativity. They don't see the person who will rise above it all, no matter what. Because you are more than their words. You are more than their judgments. You are more than the dirt they throw at you. You are a force to be reckoned with. And it's time the world knows that. It's time you show them exactly who you are. Because they may throw dirt, but you, my friend, will rise above it all. You must understand something, and I need you to hear this loud and clear. No one can define your worth except for you. No one can tell you who you are or what you're capable of. They can try, they can judge, they can throw dirt, but in the end, it's your belief in yourself that will determine your success. It's your determination, your focus, your commitment to your own path that will set you apart from the rest. The pain you feel now is temporary. The struggle you face will not last forever, but the strength you gain from it the lessons you learn, and the person you become in the process, that will last forever. That's what you carry with you for the rest of your life. And every time you face adversity, every time someone tries to bring you down, you will remember that you have already overcome so much. You have already proved to yourself that you are capable of more than they could ever imagine. This is your time to rise. This is your time to claim what is rightfully yours. And the world will take notice. They will see your strength. They will see your perseverance. They will see that you refuse to be defined by their hate and their doubt. You will show them that no matter how much dirt they throw at you, you will always rise above it, and you will always come out on top. So, when they try to drag you down, when they try to bury you in their lies and their negativity, remember this. You are not just a survivor. You are a conqueror. You are not just someone who endures hardship. You are someone who takes that hardship and turns it into fuel for your journey. They threw dirt on your name, but you will use that dirt to grow into the greatest version of yourself. The world will know your name. They will know the strength it took to rise above it all. They will see the power you carry within you, and they will understand that you are a force to be reckoned with. They may have tried to bury you, but all they did was make you stronger. And when you rise, you will show them that they were never truly a threat to your destiny. Because you, my friend, are unstoppable. Your journey is just beginning, and this is the moment that will mark the shift in your life. The moment when you stop allowing others' opinions and actions to control you. For so long, you may have allowed the noise of the world to dictate your path, but now you will step forward with clarity and purpose. The dirt they threw, the lies they told, the judgments they passed, these are not the things that define you. You define you. You are the one who chooses how you respond, how you rise, and how you move forward. The truth is that most people live their lives under the weight of other people's expectations, constantly afraid of what others will think. They want to be liked. They want to fit in. They want the approval of others to feel worthy. But you are different. You know that approval is an illusion, a temporary fix that doesn't bring true fulfillment. You know that the only approval you need is your own. When you stop seeking validation from the outside world, you unlock a power within yourself that most people will never experience. You stop caring about the opinions of people who don't matter, and you start focusing on the one person who truly matters, you. They thought their words could make you doubt yourself. They thought their insults could weaken you. They believed their false narratives would break you, but what they didn't realize was that every word they spoke, every attempt to tear you down, only pushed you closer to your true purpose. Every time they threw dirt, they unwittingly gave you the fuel to rise higher than ever before. They did not know the power that lies dormant inside you, waiting for the right moment to unleash. Let's talk about the human spirit for a moment. You've heard the phrase, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," but it's more than just a cliche. The human spirit is remarkably resilient. It has an innate ability to heal and grow, even in the harshest of conditions. When you face adversity, your spirit doesn't just break or wither. It adapts, it gets stronger, it becomes more focused, more determined, and more relentless in its pursuit of greatness. They tried to crush your spirit with their words, but all they did was make it more unyielding. They didn't know that your resilience is your greatest weapon. It's the thing that keeps you going when everything else tells you to stop. It's the thing that makes you stand up one more time after you've been knocked down. And you, my friend, are proof that the human spirit is invincible. The dirt they threw on you will only fuel the fire that is burning brighter and hotter with every step you take. You are not defined by your circumstances. You are not defined by the hardships you've faced or the dirt they threw at you. You are defined by the way you rise the way you respond to life's challenges, and the way you persevere when the odds are stacked against you. The true measure of your character lies not in how easy or smooth your path has been, but in how you've handled the storms. And make no mistake about it, storms are inevitable. Everyone faces them. Everyone goes through difficult times. But the key difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not the storms they face, it's how they weather those storms. The world can be a harsh and unforgiving place. People will try to tear you down, criticize you, and point out your flaws. But the moment you accept the truth that you are in control of your own destiny, that you are the author of your own story, you take back your power. No one can write your future but you. No one can dictate your worth. It doesn't matter what they say, because you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, and you know that the road to greatness is never easy, but it's always worth it. Let me tell you something. You are the sum of your decisions, not the sum of the things that happen to you. Life is filled with random events, moments of joy, heartache, failure, and success. But none of these moments define you unless you allow them to. You have the ability to rise above every single circumstance that has ever tried to hold you down. That's the power of choice. You can choose how to respond to the dirt they throw on you. You can choose to let it bury you, or you can choose to use it as the soil that nourishes your growth. And here's the thing about growth. It's not always comfortable. It doesn't always look pretty. Sometimes growth means breaking free from old patterns, stepping into the unknown, and challenging everything you thought you knew. It's about pushing through pain, dealing with rejection, and continuing to move forward when the world is telling you to quit. But that's when the magic happens. That's when you transform. That's when you become unstoppable. But let's also be real about something else. It's easy to tell someone to rise above, to keep going, to stay strong. It's much harder when you're the one in the trenches, when you're the one facing setback after setback. It's easy to talk about resilience when you're not the one being knocked down. But here's the truth. The ability to rise above it all doesn't come from an absence of struggle. It comes from the decision to keep going in the face of that struggle. You have to make a choice. Every single day, you have to choose whether you'll let the dirt they throw at you weigh you down, or whether you'll use it to propel yourself forward. You have to choose to embrace the challenges, to face the obstacles head on, and to keep moving forward even when it seems like the whole world is against you. And when you do that, when you make that decision, you will find that the power was always inside you. It was never about the external circumstances. It was always about how you respond. It was always about your strength, your will, your determination. But let's not forget that you don't have to do this alone. You are not an island. You are part of a greater community of people who have faced similar challenges, who have been through their own struggles, and who have overcome them. When you rise above it all, you don't just do it for yourself. You do it for those who look to you as an example. You do it for the people who need to see that it's possible to overcome, to rise, to grow, and to achieve greatness despite the odds. Your victory will inspire others. Your success will give them hope. Your ability to rise above will show them that they too can rise above whatever challenges they face. And that, my friend, is the greatest gift you can give to the world. When you refuse to stay down, when you stand tall in the face of adversity, you become a beacon of hope for others. You show them that no matter how much dirt is thrown, they too can rise above it all. So now, it's time for you to make your move. It's time for you to stand up and show the world the power you've been hiding within you. It's time to stop being afraid of what others think, to stop caring about their judgment, and to start believing in your own power. It's time to rise, to grow, and to show everyone who ever doubted you that they were wrong. It's time to take what they threw at you and turn it into something beautiful. Remember this, You are unstoppable, and the dirt they threw on you will never be enough to bury the greatness inside you. You will rise, and when you do, you will shine brighter than ever before. So stand tall, my friend, and let the world see the power of someone who refuses to be held down. Because you are unstoppable, and there is nothing and no one who can ever change that. In the end, remember this: no matter how much dirt the world throws at you, it will never bury your potential. It will never diminish your strength. Every challenge, every setback is just another opportunity for you to rise higher. You are unstoppable, a force of nature that cannot be broken. Keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that the power to overcome, to achieve, and to become your greatest self lies within you. Stand tall, rise above it all, and let your greatness shine. The world will witness your strength, and no one will ever doubt you again.